Don't go anywhere. Hold on. Grace and peace, bro. Come to the microphone. Where you from? What are your thoughts on what you heard? You got to unmute yourself. All right, go ahead.
Shalom, shalom, brother Brian.
Shalom. What's good with you? Yeah, you sound great.
All right. Because I remember last time it wasn't working out. But actually, can I share my screen? Because I have a couple of things where I can show concerning the Afro-Asiatic perspective and Noah and
come on with it. Yeah, come on with it.
Okay. All right, hold on 1 second. All right. Can you see that?
It's already up, yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I'm kind of new to this, so you got, bear with me. All right. I think it's a lag on mine. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, we're here. One thing I want to do, I want to start off with, you know what? Let me do this. This slide right here, what I did, because I speak to a lot of, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I don't like to say Hebrew Israelite. I'm Beney Yisrael, right? I say Beney Yisrael because in the scripture, it says we are the children of Israel. So me personally, I say we are Beney Yisrael. And then I put an emphasis on Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew because we're Afro-Asiatic. And there's 6, you know what? Let me show you that as I'm speaking on it. Hold on 1 second. All right, we're Afro-Asiatic. There's 6. You have Berber, you have Chadic, you have Cushitic, you have Ometic, you have Semitic or Shemitic, and then you have Egyptian. Okay, so I'm Afro-Asiatic, but I'm Central Shemitic because you have the Hebrew. Of course, you have the language, you have the land, you have the people. And then Southern Shemitic, you have the Amharic Ethiopians. You have the Tigrinya Eritreans. See, you actually have East African Shemitic people. Not all Africans are Hamites. That's the first thing.
Okay.
So I don't believe that. And secondly, I believe that we're from the continent of Africa, or as you say, Eden, because Africa and Middle East, I believe, is one continent. I call it Africa.
You call Eden, you think the Bible is talk Eden is that whole landmass we call Africa today?
Yeah, Africa,
or a large portion of it. Thank you for y'all support. I'll put that PayPal and that Cash App in there. Thank you on the super chat. We appreciate y'all.
I think I have something on that. Hold on.
No, hold on. Let me make this thing big. We want to all see. We want to make a slow down. You ain't got to move too fast here.
Okay. I'm a little nervous, so bear with me.
Afro-Asiatic.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't 5% talk. Explain when you say Afro-Asiatic to us what you're talking about in light of Genesis.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me put on my slides. Whoa,
so a lot of this, are we looking at the story of just a myth, that whole Noah's thing, or do we believe really that all nations, and can we prove all nations come from the ark? Because if the Bible is our authority, and if it is teaching a theology, it is teaching a doctrine, it is teaching a people, spiritually or naturally, whatever it is, we got to be able to say that we trust the story, and we're going to lay this story out. This is how we want to defend our story, because a lot of people are speaking against the word of God in general.
Right. See, I'm trying to be. See, I believe that people of the Bible, if you're Christian, Hebrew, that we're supposed to be allies. We're supposed to be defending this book because you have other people coming against this book.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? And to make it clear, a lot of Hebrews might disagree with this, but we're supposed to be a light to the nations. So that means, how can I hate the nations if I'm supposed to be a light to it? So I don't hate Gentiles, but we will talk about the racism. We will talk about what they're doing to our people,
Okay.
But I talk to Asians, I talk to Europeans, I talk to Jews. I'm cool with everybody. I talk to Africans, I'm cool with everybody, because this is a Hebrew perspective a lot of people haven't heard. But going back to the Afro-Asiatic, as you see right here in Genesis 2, 6-14. Hold on, let me bring it up. Hold on 1 second. It speaks of the location. So the scripture places us there. So let me start at 6. Hold on, no, not. In verse 8, it says, and Yahweh Elohim planted a garden in Eden to the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed.
Now look at this. Look at it, because you're a Bible believer, right?
Yeah, I believe
look
in
at what my
Old
man,
Testament and New Testament.
Look at what my man said. Look. You can see the screen. You on the screen? How you got your screen going? You can see the screen.
You know what? Let me see. No, because I'm looking
Eden
at my
being
slide.
the mountain of God. My man just posted Eden is a mountain according to Ezekiel 28, 13, 14, and 15 verses. Good to see
so
you.
If you see when they talk about the Garden of Eden, when you look it up, it's
Yes.
on the Iraq, Iran, Kuwait border. That's where what they say Mesopotamia, Sumeria.
Now that ain't got nothing to do with the continent of Africa, or you think that was called Africa too?
Well, this is what I'm saying. If that's eastward in Eden, right? If the Middle East is eastward in Eden,
the garden was eastward
west,
in Eden.
Right. If the Garden of Eden is eastward on the continent of Eden, then what's west? If you look west, Africa's right there.
So and that's still part of Eden too. The garden was just the eastern part of it.
It's the eastern part of this big continent, because even Israel is on the African tectonic plate.
Okay.
So, you know, even before Israelites was there, you had Canaan, right? Canaan was one of the Ham sons. So if you want to talk about Israel, first, Israel was Canaan land. It was Hamitic land. It was black people that was there. So then now when Israel went there, we look just like the Canaanites, we look just like the Ethiopians, and we look just like the Egyptians. We look like the Hamitic people. So now when Israel goes there, we also now look like the same people.
Why? So why? Hold on. I'm gonna bring my man back up to the microphone too. So why you think when we start talking about the land, when we start talking about what people been teaching us in school, science and anthropology, why you think it's a problem now when people want to start bringing up the land and what people could have looked like? Who were the black kids? Who were the original Canaanites? What they might have looked like? Why you think it could be a problem now?
Okay, let me say that before I say this. Do you see this on the screen, right? I have.
Yeah, it's up there.
All right, I have the Cushites. If you ask the people, I know my Oromo friend. If we have any Oromos there, come jita. That's the greeting. If we have any Somalians here, Subakwanakson. You know, I'm not fluent in any of the languages. If my Amharic people are here, Dananesh. You know, if my Tigrinya people are here, Kamelaha. My wife is from Eritrea. She's Tigrinya. So me and my family, you know, my wife is African. So we claim we African. My wife is Southern Shemitic, as you see. And then, all right, so first, you see the Cushites, right? The Oromo Ethiopians are the Hamitic Ethiopians. The Somalis, so the Oromos and Somalis are Cushites. They're Eastern Cushitic according to the Afro-Asiatic chart. Let me go back to that. Let me just show you right quick. Oh, hold on.
Can I ask him a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So is any of this, because I heard you say that Eden was Africa. Are we gonna ignore the boundaries that Genesis lays out for like the Euphrates and everything? Because I'm looking for the how are we identifying Eden as this large landmass? Because if you're saying it's stretched from Mesopotamia all the way to Africa,
that's big. That's big.
That's
no, right. That's Eastern. Yeah. Because it's connected. Because first they said eastward Eden, right?
Like it was just, Eden was the whole thing. It was just a part. But what about? But you got to go back to what my man said about Ezekiel when he said you were on the mountain of God. How we good?
Oh, that's what I want to touch on, because he's actually right there. Because once I said, if you go before the Bible, you can go to the Sumerian writings, and in the Sumerian writings, there is already a location in Sumeria called Eden. It's just spelled Edin, and it literally means a mound or a steep. And this was literally a known location in the Sumerian cultures. They even called the goddess Inanna the Lady of Eden, and they called her husband the Lord of Eden. So all of these concepts pre-existed the Bible. So that's what I'm saying. If you're in Sumeria, Eden is a smaller region. But if you go to the Bible, now as he's painting it, Eden seems like it's covering the entire world. But we need to know where.
Yeah. With me, like with all the extra research, I'm not there yet. So I'm gonna let you know I'm not there yet. I'm just dealing with, I'm just dealing with the scriptures. So I'm not.
But let me hold on. Let me ask you a
doubt.
question. Hold on. Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. You said you're dealing with the scriptures. Do you believe? When do you think the Israelite scriptures were written? When do you think Genesis? Well, I know it comes from an oral tradition. Oral tradition was strong among a people and all of that stuff. When do you think Genesis was first penned down, written down on a piece of paper? Vellum,
you know what?
anything.
I'm not 100% sure. From my understanding, we received the Torah in the 1446 BCE.
All right, so you do think that Moses was the author. You do kind of look at Moses, or some priests that were rocking with Moses or come from under some school underneath him, wrote the Pentateuch, wrote the first 5 books of the Bible.
Right. But yeah,
you do believe that Moses wasn't there, but there was probably writings before that could have came from other people that were probably literate, Abraham, or some writings might have been on the ark, or it was an oral tradition, whatever it was. Noah wasn't there, but Moses wasn't there, but he wrote something that existed a couple of thousand years before he lived.
Yeah, say that one more time.
You believe Noah wrote what happened about Adam and Eve? Or Adam and Eve had some writing that it came down, or other people had writings, and it wasn't until they came into Babylon or contact with other people, they started hearing creation stories.
Well, like I said, I don't know about, I just kind of stay within the scriptures because I haven't really ventured out into all the other research. So I just kind of start here.
The comparative. I got you. Yes, good point.
And then after that, then I'll look out to see if it refutes it or not. So I kind of start here with the black letters on the page, and then once I'm good with this, then I'll go out. But this
make sure that is the foundation. Okay.
Right. So I'm just trying to stick with, because people go everywhere, and then you can get confused, you can get lost here and there. So I believe in the scriptures. So I'm like, well, let me just start here. All right. So but let me just show you this right quick. All right. Now, and I'm pretty sure, like Dante, other people can do better than me. I'm just trying to show you. I'm just trying to show you something right quick. All right. So you see Ham. From my understanding, Ham is Africa. Japheth, the sons of Japheth, that's Europe. Genesis 10:1-5. And Shem is the so-called Middle East. What we believe Israel is Northeast Africa. Okay. Now, when we talk about Afro-Asiatic, if you look that up, Afro-Asiatic is really a Ham and Shem. It's a term that constitutes Ham and Shem together. So if Ham is Africa and if Shem is Middle East, then Afro-Asiatic, as you see in the middle, right? That's the area of Afro-Asiatic.
Okay.
All right. So that's that area. Okay. Now, this is what I wanted to say. So you have the Cushites, which is Eastern Cushitic. You have the Oromos and the Somalis. They're the Cushites. So when Moses would have married the Cushite, she would have probably been from the Oromo nation that's in Ethiopia or Somalia, right? Then you have Shemitic. On the left side is Central Shemitic. So the Afro-Arabs, the Afro-Palestinians, and the Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrews were Central Shemitic. But I want to show you some on the left. You have Africans that are Shemitic as well. The Tigray, the Amharic Ethiopians, and the Tigranian Eritreans. Hold on,
Pastor Green. I just put it in the comment section. Pastor Green, go ahead, keep going, bro.
Yeah, and then you have the Egyptians that also are Hamitic, which is Kemetic, Kim, Mizraim, what we say in the Bible, Egypt, and then you have the Baja Sudan. Those they say that those are the modern descendants of the Egyptians. But I want to show you something right here. So we see Central Shemitic. You see Israel is on that side. And then you see Southern Shemitic, right? So these are the Shemitic people. So when we talk about Shemitic, look at this. They all look like, can you tell the difference between the Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew, Afro-Palestinians, and let me let you know something. The Afro-Palestinians they get persecuted against Arabs. There's racism amongst the Arab family. The Afro-Arabs, the Afro-Palestinians are being persecuted by the Arabs, by the Palestinians. And also, of course, if any of us go to Israel, we will be persecuted as well. But here's the chart right here. I just want to show that if you look at this Afro-Asiatic chart, there's 6. You have Berber, Chadic, Cushitic, Ometic, Shemitic, and Egyptians. If you look at a lot of these names on the list, these are a lot of African nations from Nigeria, Chad. I mean, pick one. Ethiopia. You got, and this is Afro-Asiatic. But if you look at Shemitic, you have Africans that are Shemitic as well. And then there's one more thing. And there's one more thing I want to do. And two more things.
No, I'm not. Wait, all right, hold on, Pastor Green. Look in the email, Pastor Green. I know you probably don't know how to put it up on the link. Check your email. Go ahead.
All right, so there's
because you putting out more stuff. You getting ready to have some questions. You gonna have to answer with all these slides you pulling up. All right,
for sure. I got a couple more slides. Like I said, I'm not the whatever. I'm just a believer. All right, Amos 9:7. It said, "Are you not like the people of Cush to me, O children of Yisrael, declares Yahweh." Right? If you look right there, you see Cush. And if you look right there, we say we are Beney Yisrael. We're Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. Let's look at this. If I put on Oromo clothes, I might look like Oromo. If I put on Somali clothes, you could mistake me for a Somali. You see what I'm saying? And then here, and then right here, this slide, it shows you this is my Shemitic people, like Nipsey Hussle, Tiffany Haddish. You know, their father was Eritrean, and their mother was so-called African American, which I believe we're Afro-Asiatic Shemitic Hebrew. And then there's just one more thing I want to show. Job 30. This slide, and after this is my last slide, and then I'll release everything. You know. All right. Job 30:30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. Now, people talk about olive. I guess you have two different. People will talk about the olive oil, but you also have olive skin. Look at these people right here. So we can say that you have some people on this earth that actually look like the olive skin. Now we can talk about the olive oil. Okay, cool. But what about the olive skin? You see this beautiful black sister right here? These beautiful black people, melanated people, they actually look like the olive skin. They look like the black goat hair. They look like the black earth. And then here's another one. Song of Solomon 1:5. I am black, but come me, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar. The tents of Kedar was supposed to be the black goat hair. So as you see, I got the tents of Kedar, black goat hair. We see the black goat, and you see the sister, and we have colors from blackberry to red bone. You get what I'm saying? Like we don't discriminate. So you could be black like the black olives, or you could be, light skin. Like some people said that Noah was an albino, or people was, and that's cool because Africa, you can have two black Africans that can give birth to an albino. They still will have African features, even though they look white. So I believe that everybody came from Africa. Even white people got to give homage to their ancestors. But now, is this a salvation thing? No, because whoever accepts salvation, whoever accepts the Messiah can be saved. And that, remember when we came out of Egypt, it wasn't just the Hebrews. You had the mixed multitude, and even in the Brit HaKadashah, the renewed covenant, you had Shaul or Paul, which I believe was a black man, talking to European people, the Greeks and the Romans, and they was okay with this black dude teaching them. And they accepted the Messiah and they accepted salvation. So we're not funny like that. And then the scriptures say, hold on, let me hit you with this.
All right. Now we getting ready to get into some. We getting ready to get into somebody that want to. You can't go too far. Some people want to critique what's being said here.
This is the last thing. This is the last thing. Now we have Shem, right? Shem is Middle East, Northeast Africa. You have Japheth. Japheth is Europe. The father Japheth had sons. Japheth had a son named Gomer. Gomer had a son named Ashkenaz. It's just kind of close. There. If you look at Shem, I showed you the Shemitic people, and I showed how we look like the Hamitic people, right? But then you have Japheth. Japheth is the Europeans. Now, does the people who say that they are Israel today, do they look like the Oromos? Do they look like the Amharic? Do they look like the people in Africa, or do they look like people in Europe?
Alton, jump on here. Go ahead. Why is this skin doctrine, Alton? Tell me why this is skin doctrine right here. Brother, you seen the other thing that came up on the screen? They asked you, were you Donla? They asked you if you were if you claim Israel, but are you an atheist? Because people want to know why you were pushing this. You were talking about science, and why is this skin doctrine out? And that's what's on the floor right now. Why is what he's saying skin doctrine? Come on, big skin doctrine. Go ahead.
You want me to answer the atheist question?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it came up a few slides ago. I'm trying to remember. He was showing a lot of slides, but a lot of questions that came up. I'm gonna try to go back right now. Go ahead.
The short answer is absolutely not. I'm not an atheist. I'm a total believer in the God of Israel.
And you consider and you claim Israel too. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear?
Yeah.
I want the Christians. I want everybody to hear this. He's claiming Israel, but he's not talking the same as others that have come on here. He's bringing into account the Mesopotamian story. Do y'all hear this? Don't twist it and make it nothing it ain't.
But it's strange to me that they say that, because when it's clear.
Once you lifting up science above the Bible, Bible thumpers are going to be mad. If they Israel or if they Christian, Bible thumpers want science to be underneath the Bible, or the science is lying. But it seems like you're lifting science above the Bible.
Well, I'm lifting history above the Bible, because if you're
he was just doing the same thing, and they called it skin doctrine. Go ahead.
Well, I think he's dealing more so with a lot of the things, and just in my opinion, a lot of the things that he was saying. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, you sound great. You got the floor.
Okay, a lot of the things he was saying had a lot to do with I would say it's kind of a surface history, a lookership. A lot of it, looking at
based off the way the story is laid out in the Genesis with the Bible and the Ark and who got off, and that was a kind of a history of Genesis 10. I'll be a witness with that. I got the same slides, not the same slides, but my slides touch on the same thing that I'm going to do with the Patreon people Thursday night, Shafe. After you could jump on too, I'm gonna bring them slides up, but I can't bring this stuff up because they're gonna say I'm teaching skin doctrine. I got haters already, so I gotta be careful how I'm doing the church people.